Okay, great. Going to record the call. Okay, okay, I'm just going to ask, okay, I see that Brother Liberty. What's your actual first name? If you can type it on the chat section, so that I'll know what your first name, kind of introduce you. And you're out of Ohio. Okay. Set apart, what's your first name, and what state are you out of? Okay, so Brother Liberty's name is Glenn, just so everybody knows. Set apart. Hello, Daniela. How are you? Okay, I'm going to wait a couple minutes. It looks like some people are coming on. Okay, it's a short call. Now, listen, this is a free account with Zoom, just so you all know, and therefore Zoom only allows 40 minutes of a call. Okay, and really, what I'm going to discuss about the local groups, it can be done probably in 20 minutes, if even that. So you know, we can chat, know each other, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so Set Apart's actual name is Glenn. And then we have Daniela. Daniela, why don't you unmute yourself and let us know what state you're out of. Okay. Brother Liberty's out of Ohio. Roy Holcomb at the top, he's Ohio also. And I'm in Colombia, South America. Okay, Daniela, it's okay. I mean, if you don't want to, okay. But anyway, okay, Seth. Oh, okay. It's Seth is Seth Brother Liberty? Not. Okay, that is okay. So it's Seth. I thought it was Glenn. Who's Glenn? Is that Set Apart? That's probably what it is. Glenn is Set Apart.
Yes, Set Apart,
oh,
Glenn.
Okay, got it. I got it. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and just start chatting about the local support groups. Okay. Number one, I'm just going to be right out on the table as I've always been. Alphonse does not authorize groups, endorse groups, give his okay to groups, whatever you want to call it. And I'll be frank with you. I mean, it'd be nice if he did, because I think the local state groups will grow a lot faster. But it's not necessary for me to do this, because I didn't ask for his okay to begin with. I just let him know what I was doing. All right. I will say this for those who know Randy Kelton out of Texas, who also has been in this stuff for over 30 years in the legal and all that. He also uses a procedure that's almost identical, extremely similar to what Alphonse uses, which is also, again, very similar to what Christopher James in Canada uses, except naturally his papers and all that are adapted to the Canadian rules of civil procedure. So you can't actually just use his templates down here. You've got to find the rules and all that. But anyway, okay. Randy Kelton, 100. I've talked to Randy. I've known Randy since the 1990s. Randy is, as a matter of fact, when I opened up the groups and said what I was doing, Randy was one of the first ones to write to me and said, Jaime, I am so glad that finally somebody's doing this. This is needed all over the country. Thank you so much for doing the groups. He said, I can't do this. I am too busy. So, and I said, Danny, I'm an administrator, organizer. I can't deal in confusion and disorganization. I can't do it. It drives me insane. Okay. But I'm also a delegator. I can take something that's very complex, and I'll find the easiest, fastest, and most economical way to do it. It's just a gift that I have. Okay, it's just a gift. Everybody has gifts of some kind. That happens to be a gift of mine. Okay, so, okay, hold on a minute. I got Florida asking if it's got. Yes, it has. Okay, asking if it started. Yes. Okay, so Joe King will be getting on in a moment. So let's give Joe just a minute, and then I'm going to start talking about the groups and kind of speedily, because I do not know if, okay, like I said, these are free in Zoom, but it does allow me up to 100 participants, but it only gives me 40 minutes. Okay. And it does allow me to record, which I'm doing. So that's great. And so we'll there. Okay, Daniela, so what state or country are you out of?
Oh, I presently live in the Woodlands, Texas. I just posted it. It's north of Houston, about 30 miles. I'm originally from Switzerland, but yeah, I've been in the States for 26 years.
I'm trying to remember. Let me take a quick look. I believe that Texas, okay, and this will be a good example for for this discussion. Texas, excluding me, is showing that you guys, gals, already have 17 members. throughout the state. Okay, now, okay, let's talk about why the groups. Very simple. Alphonse's dream, which is great, I have the same dream, is to take his process all over the country and kick ass. Folks, if there's no organization, and as I call it, infrastructure, you can say that all you want, and in 10 years, it ain't gonna happen, okay? It's not gonna happen, okay? In the 1990s, we tried to do groups, but we didn't have the internet. We had just, I think we had just the inklings of email. If I remember correctly, in the 90s, when I was thinking about it, we were still using those 3.5-inch discs that you put into the computer. And we thought that if you had 1 gig disk, you were in heaven. Or 500 megabytes, you thought you were in heaven. Okay, and we tried to do groups, but it was by phone calls, fax, and whatever we could use, and that's it. And what got in the way of the groups was this. I was talking to Randy, and he said, you know what got in front of us trying to do groups? And I said, yeah, I know what it was. And he said it was everybody's ego. He said all these gurus that really are into the paperwork, they just don't want to share it. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. And all I can say is I think there's a similar problem here today. Okay, that's my opinion. So anyway, with today's communications, here's Zoom, email, I mean, everything. I mean, we can take these groups and grow them like weeds in every state, okay? Is that my responsibility? No, it's your responsibility in your state, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Okay, when you come into a group, and we're going to use Texas because it's got 18 members, okay? Its purpose is to get you guys together so you can work together. You can have a Zoom call of Texans, okay? But if you don't, you're going to be alone. You can insert the paperwork into the court. And let me tell you something, when you get in there, it's you know, it can be a little frightening. I'm going to tell you, I've been there, you know. I've been put in jail for direct contempt. I've also kicked ass into the Oklahoma Supreme Court of the judge who put me in jail. The Supreme Court came back and spanked him really good. He was the laughing stock of Oklahoma, especially Tulsa, that this guy is not a lawyer, beat his ass at the Oklahoma Supreme Court. But you know what? I didn't get there by myself. We had groups, and those groups put together the habeas corpus while I'm in freaking jail. And they got me out. If I did not have that group, let me tell you something, I would have served the whole 60 days instead of 19. Now, for example, how many of you, just wait, saw the paperwork that Alphonse put personal having to do with his property taxes that he posted into his group on Telegram? Anybody see it? Open it up. You did, Roy? Okay, I did. Okay. Now, let me share with you. That document, he's got his affidavit of status and all that. But when you look at that document, it looks like a great document as far as I'm concerned, okay? Now, the thing about it is this. Everything that he cites in there of state statutes, codes, whatever, Supreme Court cases of Oklahoma, of Pennsylvania, they're all Pennsylvania quotations. Daniela, you're in Texas. Can you take that template and just stick it into Texas? No. They're going to throw it out. That's all Pennsylvania statutes and codes. That to you isn't worth anything. So you got to go into that document and you got to find the equivalent, and it's there, code in Texas that matches the Pennsylvania code. And it's not going to be the same number necessarily. And most of the time it isn't. So you got to go find it and then substitute it. And that could take you days. I don't know how long, but you know what? If you got a group, you can split it. Hey, you take page 1, you take page 2, you take page 3, or you take page, and you know what? You could probably have it done in less than a weekend. That's what a group's about. You're not alone. Okay. The other thing you're not alone is, let's say you do end up having to go into the court, okay, for whatever, on a traffic case, and you're by yourself and you've done this paperwork and you're doing that. Okay. Yeah. Fine, you can do that, and you can file your affidavit, your status work. You go in there with the notice of claim and all this, and that's fine. And then afterwards, you alone can file your bar grievances, your judicial complaint, your federal, state criminal complaints against the judge, against the district attorney. You can do that, not a problem. But let me ask you if which one's better? If you did that on your own, or because you're in a group in Texas and it happens to be that where you are, Daniela, of the 18 members, 5 of them are neighbors to you, so to speak. They're in the metro area. And now those 5, when you go in that hearing, are in the bleachers and they're listening and seeing what's going on. And maybe they happen to have those nice pens that will record like 20 hours and they cost like 20 bucks on eBay, and video and audio, and they're recording everything, and not against the law. Judges hate them, but not against the law. Okay, but anyway, those people there that are now in the bleachers, they've seen and they know why you're there, and they're barely there to support you, but shh, keep quiet. Don't let the judge know that. They're just bystanders. Okay, everything's finished. The judge has screwed you really well, violated rights here, there, done criminal stuff against you, et cetera, and all this kind of stuff. And now when you guys meet the next day or whatever, not only did you, Daniela, file your bar grievance, judicial complaint, and state and federal criminal, that's one person. But now those 5 that also went in there to bleachers, they're witnesses. Can they also file an affidavit of fact? Okay, not sure what you're trying to tell me. Okay, hold on. So anyway, can those 5 people that were there, can they file state and federal criminal complaints against the judge, the district attorney, and whoever else? Can they file bar grievance against the judge, the district attorney? You're damn right they can. So now the bar is getting 5 plus you is 6 bar grievances against the judge, 6 bar grievances against the DA, 6 federal and state criminal complaints. Isn't that better than just one? You better believe it is. It's gonna kick ass. It's that simple. Okay, so that's the purpose. This process, from what I've seen, looks great, looks fantastic, looks that. Randy Kelton is going to be helping. Randy told me Alphonse to update all his documents, etc. And that's going to be great for all of us, because I do get concerned about using someone's documents, I don't care who it is, that was done 3 years ago. Let me explain to you why. In the 1990s, the Patriots were using commercial liens against judges, properties, etc. when they were getting messed up in the courts and screwed. When it first started, it was working really, 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 really well. And it was happening. And boy, were they in an uproar, the judges, with a commercial lien for $50 million or whatever. Okay. But what ended up happening is, after a little time period of about 6 months, they figured out how to come against these commercial liens that the Patriots were putting, and they changed the law. When I talked to Randy Kelton about that yesterday, today, he told me exactly which law they changed. And when they did that, now Patriots didn't know, and they kept putting commercial liens on it. And guess what? You wouldn't believe how many Patriots ended up in jail for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years for commercial liens, because they changed it and they weren't aware of it, and they ended up in a freaking, and I was almost ready to put on. So you can't do that. Okay, now I'm going to talk about something else. Hold on a minute. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, joking. Okay, hold on a minute. Hey, joking, you can still get on. Just get the link. Click the link from the message I sent out that you have. Click the link to join the meeting. You should be. It doesn't matter that you were on a little earlier. That shouldn't have anything to do with it.
I told him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, okay, where was I going? Okay. What do you do when you join a state local support? You got to connect with all the members. Daniela, in your case, for example, when you go to the Texas, local groups, okay, let me bring it up. I mean, you won't be able to see it. I don't know how to do split screen and all that. But when you're looking at the Texas local support, up there at the top where it says description, I'm seeing 18 members, 3 are online right now. Okay. What you need to do is, Daniela, you click on 18 members. Just put your mouse over it, and all of a sudden a window opens up, and it shows all the 18 members that are in Texas. Okay, now what do? You go in there and you click on each member. Let's see, Randy's in the Texas, okay, Randy Kelton. He supports the groups. Truth Rick is on, Susie's on, Amazon, Bobo Jangles is on, Daniela. You click on each one, and I'm going to click on one right here. I'm going to click on Bobo Jangles, and his user info opens up. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to hit add to contacts. Why? If you are not connected, to that member in your state by adding him to contacts and him adding you, you will not be able to communicate with him. Send him a message, he won't see it. He sends you a message, you won't see it. You have to have each accepted each other in the database. So Daniela, you go down there, and on each member, you go user info. I'm going to hit here, user info. I hit add to contacts. Now his name comes up, Bobo Jangles. I don't need to know his last name. What I'm going to do in the last name is I'm going to put TX hyphen LSG, all in caps, which says to me Texas Local Support Group. Boom. Okay, now I connected to him. Hopefully he'll connect to me because I'm also in Texas. He's in Texas. I'm in Oklahoma, so not. But anyway, hopefully he'll connect to me and go from there. But now, Daniela, you now have sent everyone a connect. And so what is ending up happening here, when all of you have done that one in each other, you can now talk to each other easily and all that. My recommendation when you first come into the meeting, into the group, is you write on there, hey, I'm Roy. I've just joined Ohio, and I'm in this city. Anybody else here? And what city are you in, Roy? Roy, what city?
Columbus.
You're in Columbus. So
Yep.
On it. And a matter of fact, is what really is even better is in Roy's own last name on is what I would recommend to Roy. He does put for his last name, you put what is it? OH, yeah. OH dash LSG and then space, and then I would put Columbus. Then that way, the people that are in the Ohio group are going to say, hey, Roy's in Columbus. I'm in Columbus. So now you know who's right there locally to you, and you start to communicate. You start to go out maybe for a cup of coffee or whatever. You get to know each other. And then eventually you start to have local meetings here and there. And okay, let me see. Okay, Joking is not able to. Okay, let me hold on. Okay, I don't know what's going on, Joking. I really don't. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, okay. I hope you didn't hit for last week. Okay, let's see. Today's date is the 21st. Yeah, I hope you're not hitting 21st. You need to hit. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, this is the one. This is okay. I'm going to put on here. This is the one you need to do. Okay, I'm going to put on here for him. Okay, this link.
That's what I figured he was doing, was hitting
Yeah,
the
I
link
think
from
he's putting it on
today.
next week. So I let him know, gave him the right click for today's. Okay, so now you can start to have meetings, and of those 18, something tells me that there's going to be probably 1 or 2, possibly even up to 5 people that are in your local group. You can start meeting. This is how. There you go. That's what he was doing. Hey, Joe. Glad you're on, buddy. Yeah, you must have been.
Go.
Yeah, you must have been
Well-
clicking Joe next week's link, and that's what was happening. But anyway.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
Double
yeah.
Florida in the
So,
house.
okay, so that's what you do in relation to the group. Now, in your local support groups, what's very important is this. I moderate the groups, period. Okay. I've already caught people putting, listen, I'm an anti-vaxxer 100%. My kids were born at home with a midwife. My last child, Christian, I gave birth to him. He popped out into my hands in the bag full of water. It didn't pop. And I'm looking at him and going, and the midwife's right there. And I said, is this supposed to happen? She goes, no, it should have popped. And I'm going, well, what do we do? She said, don't worry about it. As long as you got him there, he'll live forever. He'll even grow up to be a teenager in the bag. And I said, but give him a minute or two, and then we'll just pop the bag. And that's what we did. And my second daughter, I also semi-delivered, but my last child, I delivered him completely. But anyway, so in relation to the groups is, and in relation to utilizing the YouTube channel, folks, we need a lot of people filing this paperwork. Listen, in Texas where Daniela's about, if those 18 patrons, let's say, happen to be in the area where Daniela is, can you imagine hitting a judge that Daniela is fighting up against, getting hit with 18 bar complaints, and getting hit with 18 judicial complaints, 18 federal and state criminal complaints? Can you imagine? That judge will be shaking because he knows that he's going to probably have to come off the bench. He knows that his insurance company, bonding company, whatever you call it, is going to be calling him and saying, "What the hell are you doing there, boy? What are you doing? 18? Everybody's lucky if they just get one a year. You just got 18 in one case." Okay, this is how we take them down. We can do it one at a time, or we can do it in a mass. And I prefer a mass, okay? Mass judicial complaints and so on, okay? So anyway, so again, you add every member in the group of the state you're in, you add them, you can edit their last name, edit it. You naturally won't know the city initially, but edited it for you. He won't see that you edited it, it's for you. Once he changes it and does it hopefully with the city he's in, now you know, and you just keep growing. You share the YouTube's YouTube channel that I put where I organized all of Alphonse's videos. How many, just wave your hand, I've already seen the YouTube channel where I organized all of Alphonse's videos? I know Roy has. Anybody else? Okay. Okay, no, okay, you need to go. If you haven't, I posted it on Alphonse's Telegram. I've also posted it in the groups for every state, including Ohio. You need to go there and look at the channel. And if you have not seen all of Alphonse's videos, you need to start off with A and go A playlist, B playlist, and they all have a name as to what they're about. You need to see those, okay? If you think you can just go into the courtroom with the paperwork and you can just, if you have to go to the courtroom, because Alphonse's method is to keep you out of being in the courtroom. But there's going to be times when you're going to show up for whatever reason, whatever makes you or whatever. And I tell you something, you got to know what to say. It's kind of like that song by Kenny Rogers. You need to know when to fold. In other words, keep your mouth shut. Okay. So you got to listen to his videos a lot. Great training, education, and they're not boring under any circumstance. He's very good, excellent at doing that on the videos. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. Oh, hey, listen, in relation to next week's, hey, Eric, listen, in relation to next week's Zooms, which are going to be Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 3 times at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, listen, you can take the little, template that gives the information, and you can post it everywhere you like. That's all I'm going to say. Post it on all Telegram groups that you like. Post it everywhere, okay? And we go from there. Okay. This is over. It's saying that apparently the group is over, guys. Okay. Did you post, Eric, the links on YouTube and all that on the chat? You need to do that ASAP.
Yeah, okay, so we can switch over to StreamYard if you want, whoever wants, and we can, let's see, let me
Continue talking there because Zoom is going to cut me off here any second. And so we go from there. Okay, need to post it real quick on chat so everybody has it, and we can move over there for those who like. I'll go over there also. Eric and I already tested that stream and it works great. But in that stream, it only allows 10 people. So down the road, won't be, I mean, it'll be for 10 people, but we go from there. Okay. Eric. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's a stream in the chat session. Copy it, come on over there because this is over. As soon as I click this button, this is going to terminate. But good, I got everything out in relation to it. I just didn't get any questions, but there's enough of us here that we can go over.
There's a workable link. The other link I put in was
yeah,
broken.
Okay, everybody sees it on the chat right there on the right-hand side. Click on that. It's going to take us to that other stream. Immediately, we can talk there, and there we don't have a time constraint, I don't believe, right? No time constraint. Okay, so I'm going over there now, clicking on it. Okay, there it is. Okay. And I'm going to cut the recording because I don't want to lose it here. So I'm cutting the recording in Zoom, stopping it so it saves it.